See if anybody shows up. Hello, everyone. I see we have 9 people in the chat room. Hey, Duke. What's going on, bro? If you can hear me, anyone in the chat room, just say like yes, you can. Yes, I can hear you, or yes in the chat room box. I just want to make sure I'm not talking to myself because that's happened before. Again, if anybody can hear me in the chat room, okay, great. If Duke can hear me, everybody can hear me. Okay. Monitoring chat room activity on my phone. What's up, White Dove? Let the chat room. Okay. What's up, Hood Show Hip Hop? What's up, Daryl Bailey? What's up, Ricky Tunes? What's up, my man Rolando GPM for Higher G? What a name. What's up, bro? Nice to have you brothers on with me tonight. This wasn't exactly impromptu, but it was something that just kind of came off the cuff starting yesterday. Some of you may be surprised that I'm even doing a live stream because it's been months since I did one. In fact, I believe my last live stream was the one right after the YouTube purge bullshit, which is part of the reason why I'm on here tonight. But also, we're going to talk about some other stuff. And then before that, I think I was on with what's his name? Um, Forgive me, cause he changed his name. Something. The brother that calls himself, or he used to call himself, the millionaire or organic the zillionaire. He changed his name cause some fool was copying him, and I let him know about it. But anyway, guys, what's going on this late evening? Um, Not totally energetic, but I did want to address a few things with you guys. Um, for one thing, in relation to, wait, let me turn the volume down on this fucking phone so I don't hear my damn echo. Only person that should be hearing me is y'all. Okay, so for the first thing, and by the way, if any of you guys want to join the chat, just let me know and I'll email you the link. But one of the reasons I want to talk to you guys was because I needed your advice, especially the advice of some of my most trusted and loyal um, regular supporters. On that note, actually, I'd like to thank those of you who have supported me over the course of the past year, donating to my PayPal. Huge shout out to certain of you brothers. I don't know if you want me to call you by name, so I won't, but huge shout out to my regular donors. Also, a huge shout out to those of you who have been with me from start to finish on Patreon, plus all of my new patron members on Brian Block's Corner Club on Patreon. Too Bad TV Solange. Huge shout out for that. I really appreciate it. Um, and in relation to everything that's going on, so I checked a few days ago, and because you may remember, some of you that were there, I don't know how many of you were there. Um, I was doing a live stream about 3 months ago, and the live stream got cut off by YouTube, and I was banned for playing a Cyndi Lauper song in between streaming sessions where I was bringing on guests and stuff, and they banned me for 3 months. And so I just checked back a few days ago, and turns out they gave me my live stream privileges back. Also, I believe that was last month. Obsidian had his channel removed, and we had some idiot whore on here, and she was bragging about being complicit in the reason why it was removed, though um, I'm pretty sure she didn't have as much to do with it as she thought she did. Madam Logic Bum, that's what I call her. She's just too much of a fucking quack to organize anything like that. Egypt Ann would have had a better shot at doing something like that, and she's fucked up. But anyway, um, after that occurred, um, it occurred to me that I really need to move the majority of my content off of YouTube, which I've been ready to do for the past year. Again, those of you who were back in 2018, it was actually an attack on my BitChute channel by the Egyptian troll and Fat Saray, as I call her, more than a year ago. Not the attacks that frequently happen here on YouTube, but it was an attack on my alternative channel at the time, BitChute, that made me realize that if black men don't have their own shit, then nothing's ever going to change. So I got an idea in my head that what I was going to do was I was going to go on tour on YouTube, and I got a couple of brothers to agree to let me come on their live stream. One of them was GK Sigma, the other one was GW3 Extreme, and then there was Obsidian, and I believe I did my own live stream. And I was pushing and promoting this idea of black men having their own video sharing platform. And just by complete luck, because I was throwing ideas out there, but the truth of the matter is, I didn't really have any expertise in the matter, in anything technical, any real know-how of how to really get something like this up and running. By complete luck, there was a brother listening, I believe, when I was on Obsidian show, and um, he contacted me later on, actually on my BitChute channel, after those whores realized that they weren't going to be able to wipe me out over there. And me and him got to talking, and he told me, he agreed with what I said, and basically in so many words that he had the tools and know-how to get this idea off the ground, because we were talking about starting a GoFundMe page. We really didn't know what the fuck we were going to do. So after a couple of months of emailing this guy back and forth, he launched the site, and he decided on the name Black Avenger, and he created the logo and everything. At first, as with anything first starting up, it was bumpy, but eventually it did get to a point where all the cobwebs got knocked out, and he decided where he wanted the server to be, what style of platform we wanted it to be, and Black Avenger TV was born. Now, in the year that we've had Black Avenger TV, um, it has made strides, I will admit. Um, It's gone from being hardly known at all to being somewhat known on Black Avenger TV. And we have a few heavy hitters over here now. I believe O'Shea has a channel, Obsidian has a channel, I have a channel, David Carroll. But here's the problem, okay? Because I've heard people say this, and even the Black Avenger himself have expressed frustration with this, and I've expressed frustration with this, that us content creators, we can create all the content on Black Avenger TV we want. If people are not going to come in mass and support the content, then either we're going to be talking to ourselves or we're going to be wasting our effort. So while Black Avenger TV has made significant strides, I will admit that it hasn't made the type of strides, you know, for my satisfaction of what I feel it should be, considering that it's the first ever fully Black male owned and operated social media platform specifically for Black men that it should have been making by now. Meaning, I'll give you guys a perfect example. I got 25 fucking videos right now sitting in queue that y'all don't know about that are going to be released, as I told y'all, one day at a time. Okay. I released them right after, like 24 to 48 hours after I release another video. Like 18 of those videos are on YouTube, 5 of them are on Black Avenger, and 1 is on BitChute. If I took all of those videos and I put them on Black Avenger and released them all at the same fucking time, they wouldn't combined, even after 6 months, they would barely at this point, get 1,000 views combined, 20 plus videos compared to just one video being released on YouTube. And that's a problem. I literally have to tell y'all that the videos are on Black Avenger TV. This is a problem. And so the question becomes, how do I transition to Black fucking Avenger TV? How do I transition to BitChute, which is doing a little bit better than Black Avenger in traffic, but not by much? Or Patreon for that matter. It seems to me, and forgive me if I'm wrong, for those of you who are my paying patron members, but it seems to me that I even have a hard time getting people that are actually signed up for $7 a month on patreon.com to view my content unless I promote it. I mean, my nigga, you paying for that. And I'm not talking about all of y'all, because I know there, here's the thing. I told y'all, I've never been in this for the money. I've never really been in this for the money. I set that Patreon up. Of course, everybody can use a little bit extra money. But even with the donations that I'm getting from PayPal and Patreon, I'm not really making no living expense money doing this. That stuff was specifically set up for people who want to show their financial support, give me a little tip, show their appreciation. And I do appreciate that. But I want you to watch. I don't want you to just pay. I want you to watch my shit and participate just like you do on YouTube. I want you to do that on Patreon if you're paying for it. I want you to do that on Black Avenger if you're watching it for free. Otherwise, I'm just making fucking videos to myself. Essentially, if I release a fucking video on Black Avenger TV and that shit only gets 9 views in 6 hours, I mean, what the fuck is that? You see what I'm saying? So the real question is, because I've been around in circles on this matter 100 fucking times, and it doesn't seem to get any better. Okay. Now I have a strike here on this YouTube channel that expires about a month and a half from now on August 26th, which means that on August 26th, in addition to getting my live stream capabilities back, my channel will be the slate will be wiped clean. But see, the game that YouTube and these troll tards primarily those over in the black feminist sector play is they let some time go by. Let's let you, as the black male content creator, get nice and comfortable. You poke your head back above the hole. This shit has been going on since 2015 when I first came on here in a big way. You poke your head up, you think, oh, none of my videos are getting restricted or struck down. Okay, they're done fucking with me now. Okay, it's over. And just about when you get comfortable, here they come again with some bullshit. And quite frankly, I'm getting tired of that shit. It'd be different if YouTube just created a system. Y'all understand me? It'd be different if they just created a system where, and I know y'all don't want to hear it. That's why ain't nobody saying that in the chat room. Or maybe you're just listening. But the fact of the matter is, I got to get this off my chest, and we got to figure out what the fuck we're going to do here. Because I don't know about you, but I am a grown ass man, and I don't have time for these repeated little ass fucking kids games. Now, yes, I am going to continue to upload content on YouTube, but the only reason I'm going to do that is because, a lot of my follower base ain't leaving me a lot of choice. And people will say, well, you're not that big of a YouTuber. Okay, fine. But if I have people that can donate money to me to the tunes of hundreds of dollars a month, okay, then I should be able to have people that could view my content on other platforms to the tune of at least a few hundred views per fucking video without me having to promote every damn video. Because what happens if I lose this channel all of a sudden? Which is inevitable if I stay on YouTube long enough. Sooner or later, they'll get me. Then what am I supposed to fucking do? Start from fucking scratch? Or maybe I should just say fuck it and move on and do something else. Because I see niggas ain't serious. See, those of you who are not content creators, y'all don't understand what we really go through. You really don't. You just come on, and I'm not talking about everybody because I know there's some of y'all who do create videos, but y'all just, you turn on your Hello? Can you hear me? White Dove, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Somebody tell me if they can hear me. I hope y'all didn't miss it. Wait a minute, how long have I been out? Have y'all heard any of my ranting? What's the How long have I been silent that y'all couldn't hear me? Please tell me I've been talking to my damn self. Okay, I see people responding now. Have I been out? Have I been mute for a long time where y'all couldn't hear me for several minutes, or did it just happen? Holy shit! I've been out for 10 minutes? Oh my god, dude. You couldn't hear me for 10 minutes, bro? Damn, son. Oh my god, dude. I didn't know it had been that damn long. I'm wondering why ain't nobody responding in the chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my god. I said all that shit. I was getting mad at y'all, man. I thought y'all was ignoring me because I was asking y'all basically. I'm sorry, y'all. That was my mistake. I'm an idiot. Okay. I was asking y'all what do we do about pushing more traffic basically to Black Avenger TV? Like, because I'm ready to leave. Here's the thing. This is what I was trying to say, and I see I'm gonna have to monitor this fucking audio thing. I'm so mad at myself. God damn, 10 minutes y'all couldn't hear me. Unbelievable. Here's my thing. Y'all know about the YouTube purge last month. The GAT Obsidian's channel snatched up, and Madam Logic Bum bragging that she was behind it when I highly doubt that she was. Right now there seems to be a low period, whereas it looks like the monster known as YouTube's algorithm has gone back into its sleeping hole. But see, this is the point where niggas should be striking, not the point where niggas go to sleep. Nigga, when your enemy go to sleep, you don't go to sleep too. You wake the fuck up. You start planning and plotting and launching your counter attack. Okay? See, niggas, they think, oh, well, we can come back out of our hiding hole now and, open our channels back up. It's safe to come out. We've been going through this same dumb shit with YouTube I've been going through the same dumb shit with YouTube for the past 5 fucking years. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. The reason why I'm talking about it now is because they've enabled my live stream. And I'm a month and a half from having a clean slate where all the strikes are wiped off my fucking channel. But what I want is I want to make Black Avenger TV my primary fucking place where I launch videos from. With BitChute as close backup. The problem with that, okay? The problem with that is my support base. That's the problem, not just for me with Obsidian. From what I hear, and I have my differences with the brother, but we have talked recently via email. He's planning on leaving YouTube completely in the fall. The problem with that is, a lot of people are questioning whether he's really going to do it. Why? Not because he's not a man of his word per se, but because he knows, or he may know, that a lot of people just aren't going to follow him over there. Now, what I do find particularly interesting, although I can't really compare myself to Mr. Carroll because he has a following that's like 6 or 7 times my size. He does get a very significant, so I'm thinking maybe it's just because I'm small. Is that what it is? And the interesting thing about David Carroll is he sends emails out to all of his people who want to hear his rabbit hole. Eventually he does make his videos public, but the thing of it is that um all of those are emailed links when he has his videos as unlisted, and he's averaging 500-600 views in a week, which is very impressive for YouTube. I have the highest watched video, and I have the most produced videos of the top like five um Black Avengers on BATV, but he consistently has, the highest level of traffic. So maybe it's just because I'm small, but y'all tell me, give me some ideas. What can be done? What, if anything, can be done to boost traffic on Black Avenger? White Dove says, I would say that your idea is on point because they can't control you if you own yours. Exactly. I don't know why I can't get niggas to understand this. By the way, if any of y'all want to if any of y'all want to join the chat, just let me know. I see White Dove said he lost me again. Oh, that was earlier. Say it. Thing is, nobody wants to do it because they're afraid to lose views. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. The only let me make it very clear to the few people that are in this chat room right now. The only the only reason why I still put up with YouTube, the only fucking reason why I am still here is because if I were to upload videos without promoting them on Black Avenger TV, I would essentially be talking to myself. I recall I emailed the Black Avenger about a week and a half ago and complained about how I only had 9 fucking views on a video I uploaded on Black Avenger without promoting it over here on ScrewTube. I only had 9 views in 6 hours. That's unacceptable for a content creator that has established himself over the course of years. Now, I'm not one to complain about subs. I understand that, a person like me, I'm a direct threat. My voice is a direct threat to the status quo, not just of the liberals, but the entire, you know, power structure. Okay. So they're not gonna let me get, like on no Tariq Nasheed or Tommy Sotomayor level on their platforms. The only way I'm going to be able to do that is the same way that Alex Jones is finding a way to do it himself. I'm going to have to get my own fucking platform, which we have done. The problem is getting niggas to support that shit. That's the problem. How do we do that? Hey, Captain Marvel, what's up, brother? What up? What up? White Dove says, thing is, nobody wants to do it because they're afraid. Okay, I read that. Robert J. Carmichael says, save hardcore stuff for Black Avenger like David Carroll. I'm doing that. That's the thing, Robert J. I'm doing that. The problem is doing that is not boosting traffic. It's not driving, the traffic to Black Avenger that we should have on Black Avenger after more than a year. Okay. And it seems to me, I was just addressing some Negroes earlier in the day, or maybe that was yesterday, talking about some issues they have with Lincoln Black Avenger, the Chromecast, and this, that, and the third. Here's my thing. Okay, there's a certain way you like to have convenience watching stuff on the internet. I understand that. That's your right. But the thing is, I know just from the amount of views that I get when I do it, if I was talking about a big booty heifer, if I was talking about a dead rapper like Nipsey Hussle, if I was talking about swirling gone wrong, if I was talking about some stupid celebrity gossip, 9 times out of 10, niggas would have no problem if that's all I was talking about and putting that on Black Avenger TV or YouTube. Niggas would have no fucking problem coming there and watching that shit. Know how I know? Because the most traffic that I get on any of my fucking videos, the most traffic that I get is from videos where there's a big booty bimbo in the avatar. I'm talking about swirling gone wrong, where some black bimbo met her demise messing around with a white boy. Or if I'm talking about some stupid ass celebrity like Cardi B or Kerry Washington, or you know if I'm doing something within the realm of that, niggas don't have no problem. They don't have no problem coming on YouTube or Black Avenger TV. Again, like I said, if y'all didn't hear me the first time, the most viewed fucking video on Black Avenger has 6,000, like 400 or 500 views. You know who owns that video? Me. You know what it was about? The Insta thought that rose to prominence back in 2013, 2014ish for dating that white boy Bria Miles. And why was the video have so many fucking views? Not because of the quality of the content, and it is a good video. It has the most amount of views, and it keeps getting viewed because it's about Bria Miles. So what do y'all think? Should I just cheapen my fucking content and put big booty bimbos in the avatar of all my shit just to get niggas to watch? What do they call that? Clickbait. Since the niggas are so damn lowbrow. And then you know what kills me? Then you had niggas on Reg the Bad Guys stream a couple of weeks ago, bad mouthing Black Avenger TV. Niggas, they just kill me. I just don't. It's like it's incredible how lowbrow they actually fucking are. Now you don't have no problem supporting anything Jewish, white, Hispanic, or anything else control, Asian control, all the Arab liquor stores in your neighborhood with foreigners talking down to you, beating your ass, fucking killing you in some cases, banging your mothers and daughters. Niggas don't have no problem selling you second-rate goods. Niggas don't have no problem with that. But continuing the ongoing legacy of slavery through, their fucked up psychological state. If you're black and you try to start something for blacks, even if it's free, like Black Avenger is, niggas still won't support it the way they should. Content creators are going over there, yes. But where are the people backing the content creators? It don't make no sense that I'm averaging, even now, with my channel on partial lockdown, I'm averaging 1,000 views per video per day, which is very good for somebody who doesn't even have, 5,000 views. That means a third of the people that subscribe to me watch my shit. Most bigger YouTubers can't say that. Okay, there are people with 100,000 views can barely get 2,000 views per video. Okay, but then I go to Black Avenger. I tell people to go to Black Avenger, and I can barely get 200 views per fucking video in a week. That's a problem. So you see, the reason why I have to stay on YouTube for the time being, the reason why I have to live stream from here, the reason why eventually I'm gonna wind up, opening back up my channel in full, at least for the most popular videos, is because I can't get niggas to go over there. I could just say fuck it and just leave. I could do that. But, then you see, here's the thing. What's the point of me just making videos to myself? Because that's essentially what I would do. I might as well stop making videos altogether because ain't nobody going to view them unless I promote it over there. Or unless it's like a super hot topic that went viral, like that Brittany Hill video of the hood thought getting shot in the back holding her baby. Oh yeah, niggas went over there to see that. What I need, what we all need, is for black men to go they black asses to Black Avenger and support that shit in mass to the point where I can use YouTube as an alternative fucking channel. Where if these hoes and their fucking simp equivalent get butthurt about something, they can flag to their widow heart's contempt over on Black Avenger. Ain't gonna mean nothing. That's what we need. And our servers are offshore, so they can't even complain to the fucking ISP, the server provider, unless they know how to speak certain languages. So we got mostly everything covered, except for having people going over there consistently. Like I said, I have 5 videos right now as we speak. I have 5 fucking videos on Black Avenger waiting in queue to be released. They're gonna be, but all of those videos, check this out. Because of the low traffic I'm receiving over on Black Avenger, all of those videos, which are quality videos, are connected. All 5 of them are connected to 5 YouTube videos promoting them. because it's like a damn baby with an umbilical cord in its mother's womb. I gotta feed the fucking information to niggas to tell them, to the majority of them, to go to Brian Solange on Black Avenger TV. That's the problem, y'all. White Dove, what's up, Mac Knight? White Dove says, my only advice is those aren't the viewers you really want anyways. If they want low class, they can find it, put out quality, and quantity of views will come. Also check into that cell phone option for viewers to text a set of numbers so that when you upload a new video, you can text them. See, here's my only thing with that, White Dove, and I appreciate you taking me seriously and throwing some ideas out there. When I first came on YouTube, I used to do this thing called a three-way panel discussion. And I handed my numbers out to some brothers, good brothers. None of them, well, one of them betrayed me, but most of them were cool. And I'm still cool with a lot of those brothers to this day. They were the original panel members on Brian Too Bad TV Salon show. Because of just the way I am evolving and thinking nowadays, I don't really hand out my number like that anymore to people. You know, I really just close myself off. I'm perfectly okay with internet interactions, but anything with personal information, unless I went out there and got a throwaway phone, I'm not really trying to, get personal with people like that anymore. There's only a couple of brothers that still have my phone number. And to be honest with you, I prefer that they didn't, not cause, I just don't like them anymore. It's just, you know, I don't want any of my personal information hanging out there. So if there's a way to do that, or maybe I'm not understanding what you're saying. You're saying also check into saying who doesn't have a cell phone nowadays, right? Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know if I want to do it like David Carroll does do it, but I also, you know, having to promote everything on Patreon, I'm having a hard time. Even people, I have 25 patrons as of today. I just literally released another Patreon audio blog today. Make sure y'all go over there and check it out. It's in direct correlation with one of the things I want to talk with y'all about tonight, about the Izola Curry situation. But even with that, I'm having problems getting my paid patron members, that are Brian Block's Corner Club members, to react to the content, which means either they're not viewing it or they're just not responding to it. Now, unfortunately, on Patreon, you can't see how many people are viewing your shit. But the thing that kills me is they're paying for that, and there are some of them that do, but there's still a lot of them still aren't viewing it unless I'm telling them to go over there and view it. Like, nigga, how do you pay for something, even for $7 a month, and not partake in it? I don't understand that. So whether the content is free or it's paid, niggas just ain't viewing it unless it's on YouTube. And look, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not being delusional like a black female about this. If I was just a little tiny YouTuber that nobody knew, and I wasn't even getting 100 views per video, okay, I say, okay, well, I don't have nothing to say because there ain't that many people watching my shit anyway. Okay, but there are actually people watching my shit. Everybody in the black manosphere, from Tommy Sotomayor on down, they may never openly acknowledge me, but they know who the fuck I am. Many of them have openly acknowledged me in their videos. Okay, ones that like me, ones that don't like me, ones that don't care nothing about me. So people know who I am. I am a significant figure, even though I have a small amount of subscribers. I do get a fair amount of views. Okay, so I should be able to transition to an alternative platform and make that my main with a reasonable amount of support. So the question is, how do we do that? How do I do that? See what I'm saying? Atari 909 says humans are resistant to change. It even took YouTube a few years to pick up. Don't give up. Well, no, I'm not gonna give up. Hey, what's up, Zachariah? Zachariah, special shout out to you. I believe you were one of the ones that gave me a donation on PayPal. If y'all didn't hear me before, I just want to say special shout out to all of those of you who donate to me on PayPal. I see all of your PayPal messages. I read every single one, and I really appreciate everything that you've done so far. But again, the brother was back to what the brother was saying about resistant to change and not giving up. I'm not going to give up. I love what I do, and I love connecting with like-minded brothers. But it pains me to know after 5 years, while the YouTube monster is asleep in his cage with his she beast, known as the Black American female, like Madam Logic Bomb, sleeping right underneath one of his feet. They're in hibernation mode, and they're just waiting to awaken again, whether it happens later on this year or whether it fucking happens next year. It's only a matter of time before these motherfuckers awaken again and start fucking with our content again. This is why, again, I'm having this conversation with you brothers now. See, niggas, this is the reason why niggas never win, because they think when their enemy takes a break, they supposed to take a break. When their enemy goes to sleep, they're supposed to go to sleep. No, nigga, you got it twisted. When your enemy goes to sleep, you supposed to counterattack. You supposed to be planning and plotting. Now is not the time to say, whew, now we can come out of our holes. I'm a grown ass man. I don't have time to be playing with these goofy motherfuckers on YouTube playing flag wars and stupid shit like that. Now, you remember when Simone 5-6 came up with that hit list 2 years ago? Yes, I played their game and I won. I beat them at it. Okay? But I'm not gonna be on here playing these little stupid ass games with these whores and their simp equivalent. I got better things to do. I told somebody this before. If I was as pathetic, and some of y'all were back then when we were retaliating for that shit when it happened the first time in 2017. If I was as petty and pathetic as a lot of these hoes, okay, I probably could have brought down Crystal and Kerosene. If I had dedicated myself to listening to all of her nonsense on all of her videos, I probably could have gotten that shit along with, the little small posse I had. I probably could have got her in some serious water with YouTube. I don't have time to keep track of these whores. I don't care what they do. I don't give a fuck. But apparently they do care and they do give a fuck about what we do. They can't just stay in their little corner because a lot of them still desire black men. So they come over here because they want to get our attention. It's like this little stupid game. You know how they talk about boys when they're young, they go up and they hit girls that they like because they don't know how else to communicate that they like them. That's like how these hoes are doing us. Somebody went all the way back in 2 years, had a video I had up about black women not being able to raise black men into manhood from like 2 years ago and had that shit flagged down a few months ago. I ain't got time for that shit, bro. Having to go on lockdown every time YouTube want to fucking purge, and they've dedicated themselves now to purging at least once a fucking year. So what, are we just gonna hit the alarm drill every fucking year and do this year after year, huh? Because I'm telling you, eventually I'm gonna get tired of this shit and I'm just gonna move the fuck on. Now, yeah, I could open up all my videos again and make everything fully viewable again. But how long is it gonna be before they start that shit up again? How long is it gonna be that I'm gonna have live streaming permissions that like a little kindergartner, I'm granted permission to have live stream now? How long is that gonna last? Till the next time I start talking about a black bimbo or the next time I start trashing a white liberal? Y'all see what I'm saying? This is why black men can never win. Our victory, our road to freedom is right here sitting in front of our face. You're looking at it. But I can barely get a third. We can barely get a third of the niggas here on YouTube to go over there. So anyway, I want to start like a commission. Those of you brothers who signed up on my community forum, y'all should be aware of it. I'll take you there now if you don't know about it. I want to start like a commission either through email or through the community forum to talk about how we can make improvements to drive more traffic to Black Avenger. Because I was thinking, life is so busy, I just don't have a lot of time to, really um, look into stuff like I should. But there has to be a way that we can promote, better promote Black Avenger to drive more traffic there. Um, so that can become the primary place where we do shit. Because it's only a matter of time before YouTube come and put the permanent smackdown. They're gonna start banning people's IPs and email addresses. That's what's gonna start happening. Mark my words. People don't believe that though. See, they think shit is just gonna continue the way it has. I keep trying to tell people, man. Keep trying to tell them. Forumocean.com. Is that it? Hold on, y'all. No, it's Black Avenger TV. Says yeah. So yeah, guys, those of you who have excuse excuse me, those of you who haven't signed up, we have a forum. Okay, you see the link there. Let me see if I can put the link in the chat room. Make sure you're signed up over here. Oh, shit. Go to the fucking the chat room so you guys can. But yeah, I want to start a commission to look into. I want to start a commission specifically for Black Avenger TV. What the hell? Hold on, y'all. I don't know what the fuck didn't happen. I'm about to put this in the fucking chat room if I can find it. Come on, chat room, come up. Stop with all this lag and shit. I fully understand, brother. The message has already been spread to the four corners. By the way, if anybody wants to join the chat tonight to talk, help me brainstorm, just make sure you email me. Let me put my email here. Boop boop. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely going to talk more about this. We have to talk more about this because I'm not going to keep, of course I have to stay here on YouTube for the time being if I'm going to keep, uploading content, but the goal is to move over to Black Avenger TV permanently and make it my primary place where I upload content. Okay? So yeah, if you haven't signed up on blackavenger.forummotion.com, please go do that, and so you can become a part of the commission. We're gonna talk about that in more detail in private, and yeah, that's very important. Also, for those of you who are not yet, those of you who are not yet Brian Blog's Corner Club members, I'm going to be changing my avatar pretty soon. But just to let you know, I do have a new audio blog out, the first one of this month. It's going to be addressing this Izola Curry woman who tried to stab Martin Luther King, which I'm getting ready to talk about in just a second. When this thing stops lagging so fucking much, I'll give y'all a little taste. And the front of good, you can't see it. You can't see it unless you pay, guys. How a black woman almost assassinated the Black Messiah, Martin Luther King Jr. analyzing the life of Izola Curry. Make sure you go check that out. It's available right now on patreon.com. There is 3 more Patreon audio blogs coming out this month. One on the 25th. I'm sorry, one on the 19th, one on the 25th, and one on July 31st. They're all scheduled releases that were uploaded today. So make sure, if you're not a member of the Brian Blogs Corner Club, make sure you go on Patreon and sign up today. I'll go ahead. Can I leave the link? I think I can leave the link. Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave the link for you fellers if you want to sign up. It's only $7 a month. You can't even get a decent combo meal at Burger King for $7 a month. So that's really a bargain. 4 audio blogs with written content a month. That's a fucking bargain. What the fuck? Hold on, y'all. This thing is messing me up. Let me go back to. Oh, fuck. Gotta go back to my creator studio so I can send y'all this link. You know what? I need to just go ahead and go into. Damn. Everything's so difficult. About to send y'all this link to Patreon. Patreon. White Dove says, bro, channel name is TD Hip Hop Media. He has that cell phone text option on his videos. I was just watching a video he did speaking on reparations. And again, you don't give out your real number. Okay, brother. No, thank you. I didn't know that. Hey, brother, could you email me some more information? Here, email me or give me your email so I can email you and we can touch base on that. Thank you for that information, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, guys, sign up there if you haven't. So, okay, the next thing I want to talk about is for you guys. Let me ask y'all in the chat room, how many of y'all are familiar with this woman? Let me pull up a picture right quick. How many of y'all are familiar with this woman here? They say it's a woman, and we know a lot of black women have very strong features, and that's putting it lightly. But how many of y'all are familiar with who this female is? Well, if you don't know who she is, her name is Izola Ware Curry. And in 1958, 2 years after my mother was born, while Martin Luther King was signing autographs at the Bloomstein department store in Harlem, she pulled out a letter opener and stabbed Dr. King right in his chest with it. She literally attempted to kill this man. And her argument was, and this is actually a picture of Martin Luther King right after he was stabbed. Let me see, is there a better picture of this dude? Let me see if I can, is there a way to copy image address? Let me see if I can pull this all the way up. Yeah, there we go. So there's literally a picture taken by a New York Daily News reporter of Dr. Martin Luther King right after he was stabbed in the chest in 1958, September 20th, 1958. And there's one of his female aides. She's tending to a defensive wound on his hand because when the woman swung at him the first time with the letter opener, she actually missed and sliced his hand and punctured a hole in one of his fingers. The second swipe ended with the letter opener smack dab in the middle of his dress shirt, and you could see the handle of the letter opener sticking out of his chest. Now, the letter opener was only inches from his heart, but more importantly, it was driven so deep into his sternum that it was resting on the edge of his aorta. And Martin Luther King would later talk about how close he came to death, that doctors told him, and the media later reported that if he had sneezed, and there's a newspaper article right there. Had he have sneezed, he would have drowned in his own blood because the tip edge of the letter opener would have punctured his aorta, and he basically would have drowned in his own blood. Now, remember what I was telling y'all a while back? Damn, she just as ugly as an old woman as she was as a young woman. Well, she was 42 when she stabbed him, but she lived to be 98 years old. That's right. She stabbed Martin Luther King when he was 29 years old and she was 42. She outlived him by 59 years. She just recently died in 2015 of natural causes at Jamaica Queens estate or some type of nursing home in Jamaica Queens. She was originally from Georgia. Um, she was the child of like 8 children or whatever. She left Georgia after a failed marriage with, I'm assuming, a black man of just 6 months. Big fucking surprise that is. And when her marriage failed, she moved to New York City for the first time in 1937. And then after 1937, she went going around looking for different jobs. She was having a trouble holding down a job because she was a schizophrenic. They claimed that she was a schizophrenic, a schizoid. So she would have problems holding down jobs. Now, somehow this woman got in her demented skull that the NAACP and Dr. Martin Luther King were following her and stalking her and surveilling her and keeping her from getting and holding down employment. It wasn't the fact that she was fucking crazy and probably trifling as fuck. It was Dr. King and the NAACP. So she eventually, what the fuck? She eventually wound up working herself into such a lather, like that guy that shot John Lennon also in New York City years later, Mark David Chapman, that the only way she was going to get out from under this cloud, this bubble of conspiracy and people following her, was she was going to have to murder Dr. Martin Luther King in order to be free from all of that. So she tracked his movements to this department store when he was signing a book for, he was autographing purchased copies of a book he released about the Montgomery bus boycotts. And she pushed her way through the line, calmly asked him, "Sir, are you Dr. Martin Luther King?" or "Sir, are you Martin Luther King?" And, he was surrounded by a crowd of people. And so he didn't even notice the woman at first. And as soon as he said, "Yes, I am," she pulled the letter opener and buried it right in his fucking chest. Now, the interesting thing about this woman is, let me go here. The interesting thing about this woman is she also was carrying a loaded 25 caliber semi-automatic Italian pistol when she stabbed Dr. King. And I guess in a way he was lucky because she could have pulled a gun out and shot him. She was hiding it in her bra. It was later found by police. And when they asked her why she didn't use the gun to shoot him, she said because she was going to use the gun for protection, because she expected to be attacked after she killed Dr. King by his supporters. So her idea was to shoot the people coming at her after she stabbed and tried to kill Dr. King. But she didn't get the gun out fast enough. People tackled her and subdued her after she stabbed bro. And the other interesting thing was police didn't even put this bitch in handcuffs. They didn't even put her in handcuffs when they took her away from the scene after he stabbed this dude. This is how they took her to the police station, y'all. And guess where the fucking this is trippy. Guess where the fucking letter opener that she used as a weapon is? Guess where it was? The letter opener was in the fucking handbag that she's still carrying. She's not in handcuffs. She's still carrying the handbag. They didn't search the fucking handbag. They didn't discover that she had a gun in her bra until they got her to the police station hours later, dude. She's so in this picture that was taken, of her being escorted into the station by the detective and the sergeant. She still has a gun. She still has a weapon on her. This is the advantage female and black female that they get. If a nigga had done some shit like that, they would have had his feet and his hands fucking handcuffed. They would have hog tied his ass. He probably wouldn't even made it to the police station, to be honest with you. She still had, they didn't even search the handbag. And later this woman got off. Well, she didn't get off, but she was judged criminally insane. And they sent her upstate to some insane asylum. So she didn't even do time in prison for stabbing Martin Luther King. But I guess that's not really saying anything, because the dude that shot Ronald Reagan, John Hinckley Jr., he didn't do time for shooting Ronald Reagan either. So, I mean, go figure. But that's some trippy shit, ain't it? So let me see. Zoventure. Oh, hey, what's up, Zoventure? What's up, Zachariah? If I didn't say that already. Okay. So anyway, here's my point. Here's my point with this. There were a lot of people that, including my father, they believed that there was more to it than this woman just being a crazy person. They believed that this woman may have been part of what at the time was a secret CIA program called Project MK Ultra, which right after World War II was put in place to try and cast mind control on people, to train them to be everything from assassins to political puppets, mainly in foreign places abroad, to try to help the United States control other countries and protect its interests, because it was understood that the rise of Nazism, or the Soviet Union, could never happen again the way it had happened during World War II and afterward during the Cold War. So it was well-known knowledge that the CIA was illegally at that time, like the FBI, also operating within the boundaries of the United States. And MK Ultra was a program much like COINTELPRO that targeted minority communities and foreign nations that were not Western European white, like the Eastern European and Soviet bloc, Africa, South America. A lot of people believe that Sirhan, the man who shot Robert F. Kennedy, was a victim of Project MK Ultra. And so essentially what MK Ultra did was they tried to hypnotize. They hypnotized people, or tried to hypnotize people, through feeding them drugs, torturing them, verbally, sexually abusing them. All the shit you see in Jason Bourne and these secret agent movies, all of those fantasies that you see in movies of spy shit and them tying people to chairs, it comes from this Project MK Ultra. So it was theorized that this woman, there are no records of her between 1949 and like 1953. There are records of her when she returned to New York City in 1954, but there's no records of her whereabouts or movements between 1949 and 1953. Now, Project MK Ultra was officially started, I mean, not started, but sanctioned in 1953 by the federal government. But it was operating well before that. Some people said it was even operating towards the end of World War II. Okay. And this term became popular, called the Manchurian Candidate. As a matter of fact, some of y'all may recall Denzel Washington did a movie by that title, and it was specifically addressing this CIA secret program that in the movie had been revised to try to assassinate the real president of the United States and put a puppet president, which would be the vice president in the United States, for a special interest group. Okay. So a lot of people believe that Izola Curry was a Manchurian Candidate. Now, y'all know I'm not big on conspiracy theories. Okay, yeah. Um, Dude said the Kennedy assassination was be more like Smoking Aces multiple hit teams. A lot of people think that Lee Harvey Lee Harvey Oswald was a Manchurian candidate. Here's my thing, and I typed out about this about Izola Curry um, in my audio blog on Patreon, so make sure you go check it out. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but here's the thing. She made certain statements, and there were certain things about her, okay, that would make her fit the profile of a Manchurian candidate. A Manchurian candidate, okay, much like Sirhan, okay, or even Ali Atka, the guy who shot and wounded Pope John Paul III. One of the things was that she was crazy. She was already suffering delusions. There was actually a a memo for, standards to choosing a candidate for the program in MK Ultra that said that they preferred people who were already kind of on the fringes of sanity because they would be easier to control. Okay, it's known that the CIA had several front organizations set up in colleges and major cities like New York throughout the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even going into the 70s before the program was finally shut down. That they used those front organizations to look for Manchurian candidates. Okay, these were not people that were highly trained like government assassins like a 007 or a fucking, Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible or something. These were regular people. A lot of them were already mentally ill, okay? And they were hypnotized into and manipulated into doing something that they otherwise wouldn't do, okay? Now, one of the reasons that makes me at least take this into consideration about Izola Curry is because of one of the things that she shouted after Martin Luther King, after she stabbed him. She yelled out as people were subduing her in the department store. She said, "I've been after him for 6 years." This is interesting because Dr. Martin Luther King didn't come on the scene until, where he was a national interest, until I believe 1955. Correct me if I'm wrong, during the Montgomery bus boycotts, right? That's when he rose to prominence. Okay. So that was only like 3 years before he was stabbed in 1958. Okay. But the NAACP had been very well established since the 1930s. Okay. And Project MK Ultra, which was the architect of the so-called Manchurian candidate, okay, the manipulated assassin or puppet, or what Oswald called the patsy. um they had been in business as of known record since 1953, even though a lot of people think they were operating before that. Okay. So when she said she had been after him for 6 years, if you know how to count between 1958 and 1953, that's 5 years. Okay. So if she claiming that she knew about this guy for 6 years, which means one of two things. Either she's completely crazy, she had some type of personal dealings and affair with Martin Luther King or somebody in his entourage, possibly even sexual, or she was put on to him and the NAACP as these movements in Montgomery, Selma, and Birmingham were being, put in place. Because remember, before the Montgomery bus boycotts got off the ground, remember I told y'all about that 16-year-old black girl that got pregnant by the white dude in Montgomery, and she was actually the first one in 1955, the first female, because I'm sure there were plenty of niggas that refused to give up her seat, and but they decided they didn't want to use her. So there was plotting and planning for this boycott to broadcast to the national media by the NAACP to make this push, for desegregation in the South, well before Rosa Parks, well before Martin Luther King came on the scene. And the government, the FBI and the CIA, they knew about this because they were tapping everybody's phones and following everybody. They had infiltrated groups like the NAACP. Okay. So it could have been that they were already into this Manchurian candidate program, and they saw Martin Luther King and other leaders as a threat, and they were already setting up to do something to him, well before the Montgomery bus boycotts even got started. I don't know, but that's what a lot of people, that's to some extent that's what a lot of people believe. The other thing was during interrogation, when Izola Curry was when she was talking to detectives and they asked her why she did it, she said almost verbatim, it was either him or me, meaning that she felt in her twisted brain that if she didn't get Dr. Martin Luther King, he was going to get her. And she was also convinced, she said that she thought he was a communist. Now, a black female in her state of mind who can't even hold down a job, why would she give a fuck about a black man that she never met being a communist? The only people who cared about communism were the white men in the federal government, like J. Edgar Hoover specifically, who accused everybody, including Dr. King, of being a communist. She hit the exact talking points of white men who were running the government at the time, including these clandestine agencies and programs. She said she thought that the NAACP had her under surveillance. She thought that they were trying to kill her, and she was convinced that Martin Luther King specifically was a communist. Now, the question is, what would happen? And don't get me wrong, okay? Because she could have just been a crazy hag. Like Mark David Chapman, he was convinced that John Lennon was the second coming of Satan or some crazy ass shit. Or not John Hinckley, Mark David Chapman. And John Hinckley thought that if he killed Ronald Reagan, then what's her name, Jodie Foster, would fall in love with him. I guess nobody tapped him on the shoulder and told him, "Hey, dummy, Jodie Foster is a lesbian." But anyway, so it could have just been that this woman was crazy, like most black women, or it could have been that she was manipulated at some point in some, dark corner of the world somewhere. She was kidnapped and manipulated and set off. She was wound up and set off to believe, hypnotized into believing that Martin Luther King was after her and surveilling her and torturing her and keeping her from getting a job, and that he was a communist. This is stuff that could have been fed to her because she was already a schizophrenic. So I don't know. What do y'all think? I agree. Martin Luther King was a coon. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knows what I believe, what I think about Martin Luther King. I believe that early on he had his heart in the right place, but ultimately I think it's pretty fucking obvious. It ain't got nothing to do. It ain't got shit to do with what I think. It's pretty obvious that the civil rights movement did not have the right idea and plan in place for black people. Their plan was to desegregate all of America, not just the South, and bring us together with white folks. And in doing so, that would open up the doors to us and make, America what it should be to black Americans. And then by default, we would just pick up the slack because now all the doors are open. But we all know that's not what the fuck happened. So don't get me wrong. I have my differences with Dr. Martin Luther King politically. I have my differences in regards to him and the NAACP's strategy and approach to the civil rights movement. And obviously, the fact that he cheated on Coretta Scott King multiple times with mixed race prostitutes. I have my differences with him on a personal level. But at the end of the day, same thing I said about Brittany Hill, the Chicago baby mama thought that was shot in the back. he was still an innocent human being that didn't do anything to anybody except stick his dick in them. But and that's a subject for a video we already covered. But he didn't do nothing to nobody. So he didn't deserve to have his life taken the second time, and he didn't deserve to be attacked the first time, whether I disagree with his antics or not. Okay? So the question is, was not only Izola Curry, but the white man that they say killed him, James Earl Ray, were they Manchurian candidates? Now, we ain't going to go into James Earl Ray. Everybody by now should know the story of James Earl Ray, but I just want to see if they have a side by side still of these two people who history tells us attacked Martin Luther King. Nope. No, they don't. They only have, damn, when you put in both of their names, only stuff about Izola Curry comes up. That's deep. They got one picture of dude. But anyway, what do y'all think? Did you know Martin Luther King was in a relationship with a white woman, Brian? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Everybody knows by now, it was hidden before, but everybody knows by now that Martin Luther King pretty much was like every other black man when it came to his dick. Does that mean he deserved to be murdered? No, it doesn't. Atari 909 says they probably manipulated her like the spree shooters we deal with today. Oh no, you one of them people that believe Newtown was a a setup. Be careful, that's what got Alex Jones ass banned from YouTube. I wouldn't go as far as to say the mass shooters. I don't see what the purpose of murdering a bunch of kindergartners would be for the federal government, but because it ain't taking nobody's guns away. But really though, I don't know. Because see, here's my problem. That is a conceivable theory that she may have been manipulated. But the other thing about black women is two things. One, they've been being manipulated by white zaddy since slavery. So even if this woman was part of this MK Ultra program, it would really be no different than most black females of her generation and generations before. Okay, that were manipulated by white zaddy to destroy black masculinity and bring down black leadership. That's number one. The other thing is there's so many black women with mental illness. Y'all know just yesterday I literally just did a fucking video about Taraji P. Henson going before the world, really, and admitting that black women have lost their fucking minds. And she's the first black woman in more than 40 fucking years of I'm strong, I'm independent, and I'm most educated and most desirable. She's the first black woman on a large scale that I have ever seen come out and fucking admit, yes, us black women are crazy. Yes, us black women need help. Now, does that mean I support Taraji P. Henson in the role she plays in Hollywood? Hell to the motherfucking no. But at least she was woman enough to stand up and say, you know what? I'm not all I've been cracked up to be. I ain't shit. Just like David Carroll said, they know they ain't worth a fart in a windstorm. They try to hide it from everybody else. So my thing is, Izola Curry, she could have just been like every other crazy black broad. She could have just been like every other crazy black broad and just, jealousy, bitterness, because I think more likely than not, that's probably what it was more than anything. Jealousy, bitterness, just like the woman that killed the black woman. Y'all remember her, the psychiatrist in Arkansas that specialized in anger management, that killed the black pastor because he wouldn't leave his wife for her because she thought if she gave him some pussy, he would leave his wife. That happened about 2 months ago. Y'all remember that? So here's an educated black sister with a fucking master's degree, a MA, a PhD, and she goes out and guns a dude down. She's supposed to be helping people with their anger, and she ain't even controlled her own fucking anger. So, again, there are a lot of black women suffering from crippling mental illness. Okay. We see it in these incubation centers of crime and poverty and debauchery every single day. And Izola Curry, living in New York City, I mean, she could have just been another fucking quack, or she could have been manipulated. She could have been manipulated, wound up, and set off. Who knows? You know, um, she never did explain her actions later in life before she died in 2015. It just was kind of one of those things that kind of went into the annals of history. But anyway, if you guys want to read the actual court documents, they actually have the interrogation, the full interrogation of Izola Curry. They actually have it here on the Smoking Gun. The Smoking Gun, which is a website, they actually tracked this woman down in this nursing home, and they got court and police records of her arrest and her interrogation and her trial. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in the chat room just in case you guys want to check it out. Hold on. And you can read it for yourself, and then, you basically be the judge. You tell me. What do you think? Oh, could somebody please do something about this penny fool that's on my shit? Can somebody please do something about this penny fool, please? I'm just not seeing this hoe. Why are you here? Seriously, why? Why? Why are you here? I know I made some of y'all moderators. Do something with that, man. I ain't gonna even waste time. Let me go to fucking YouTube. Says that's why most black women in the industry are so-called Hollywood are not married. The more educated the woman is, the more likely she is to be single. Yeah. Okay. Let me. I'm gonna post this link in here so y'all can check this out. Doo doo doo. Come on, come on. Okay, so this is the link to the smokinggun.com article that shows the interrogation of Izola Curry. And she said some very interesting things in there that had me wondering if she was actually under surveillance and being controlled by government agents. We know that, they started a program back then specifically for black, to infiltrate black power movements like the Black Panthers and the Fruit of Islam, called COINTELPRO, later on in the mid to late 60s. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of undercover FBI and police in the Fruit of Islam, and people didn't even know. Well, I think some of them did know it, but what could they do, right? So, yeah, it's known that the federal government was definitely involved in that type of spying shit. They had like Martin Luther King's entire house bugged, all his hotel rooms, Malcolm X too. So it is conceivable that they could have, manipulated and set off somebody to become an assassin to try to take out Martin Luther King early. I don't know. You know, what do y'all think? But anyway, okay. So the other thing I want to get to, I'm just gonna lead this up. I'm just gonna lead this up. The chat room. The other thing I want to get to is this stupid shit that I've been hearing about concerning this people licking ice cream thing. Now I'm gonna play this report for y'all. For those of y'all who haven't heard about it. Let me see, what is King Vicious Production saying? He's saying they had all of the black leadership under surveillance, just like the FBI and Tupac and Biggie under surveillance when they were taken out. Yep. Sure was. There are actually pictures of Biggie Smalls and Sean Puffy Combs. And why they were following Biggie Smalls to this day is beyond me. Because Biggie Smalls was no intellectual, no weekend intellectual. He wasn't pro-black. I don't understand what the point, the correlation was. What interest did they have in Biggie? Now, Tupac, I could see because Tupac, he was one of those guys that was, he had a lot of political views. When he wasn't doing stupid nigga shit, he was actually a pretty intelligent guy. And I could see somebody like him potentially being able to start a movement, especially since he connected with the younger generations of black people. So I could see why the FBI saw him as a threat. I could see why they saw NWA, who they also had a file on and were also following. NWA, Ice Cube, what's his name, Easy E, and Dr. Dre, when they first came out. I could see how they could see NWA as a threat, but how they saw Biggie Smalls as a threat, I don't get that one. Unless they were just following him, in connection with the beef that he had with Tupac, and after Tupac was assassinated in Vegas, you know, they were trying to see if he had any connection to that. But I don't know. Some people think, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theory. I think it was just some nigga shit. But some people think the FBI had a hand in Tupac being taken out in Vegas. I don't know. But niggas stop acting like niggas. Maybe we would be able to figure that shit out. Let me see. What are y'all saying in the chat room? Says Biggie was not an intellectual and was not pro-black at all. Exactly, yeah. Um Atari 909, another black woman just licked some blue ball the other day. She's complaining about haters. Okay, yeah. So let me just quickly address this ice cream challenge thing right quick. But first, I'm gonna play this clip about this stupid shit. If y'all have trouble hearing the volume, let me know. Man, I don't want to see this fucking commercial. I don't want to see this fucking commercial, bruh. No one is screaming for this ice cream. Authorities are looking for the woman who opened a carton. Can y'all hear it? At an East Texas Walmart. Licked the top. This fucking commercial? I don't want to see this fucking commercial, bro. I thought it was hilarious, but police aren't laughing. They say her freezer felony could land her in jail for up to 20 years. Good. 20 years. Good. And I hope they give her all 20 years. So a few kids thought this was the next viral sensation. Texas don't play. Texas is like China when it comes to punishing motherfuckers. They'll kill you for just about anything and give you life in prison for everything else. Let me play this other video clip about this stupid shit. They gangster in Texas, bro. I don't know what you talking about. 20 years. Them niggas lucky they don't get the death penalty for licking that fucking ice cream. Ariana Grande, I can't stand that little whore. But I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. She paved the way for these nasty motherfuckers to do this. Yeah, why don't you move to the moon? Mars would be better. Don't come back. Okay. So first of all, speaking on this, no, I don't want to see that again. Okay, so first of all, let me say, speaking on this, first of all, I'm not impressed. Okay, and let me tell you why I'm not impressed. Because I noticed that everybody expects you as a content creator, especially when you um create contact create content with frequency. They expect you to talk about every little stupid ass thing that's trending, and that's one of my problems as far as increasing my channel size. I don't talk about everything that's trending when it's trending. Okay, but let me just say this. I'm trying to pull up a visual here. I find it I'm losing my fucking voice. God damn. I find it particularly interesting that everybody wants to talk about this ice cream challenge and how nasty it is. People putting their bare tongues on ice cream in stores and not purchasing it, but putting it back, so somebody else can buy it. But millions of people just in this country alone are going around with their bare penises and bare vaginas and having unprotected sex, and nobody wants to wear a fucking condom, even though there are dozens of sexually transmitted diseases out there being transmitted from one person to another day in and day out. Now, can you get an infection or a disease from someone putting their tongue on some ice cream? Maybe. But even if they're sick, the chances are highly unlikely. But can you get a disease from tongue kissing somebody that you just met at a club or a bar, or putting your dick in a bitch that you just met at a club or a bar without a condom on? The chances of getting an infection or a disease or something like that is far higher when it comes to physical contact with another human being, including sexual contact, than somebody licking ice cream. Now, does it make what these stupid little motherfuckers doing right? Hell to the motherfucking no, it don't make what they're doing right. Of course it doesn't. To be honest with you, I actually, because I'm so sick of these little stupid dumb young motherfuckers anyway, and you notice considerable amount of them look like they were biracial. That figures. I hope Texas throws the book at them. I do. Now, I don't hope they do 20 years, but I hope the judge just gives them 20 years to scare the daylights out of them. And then later on, they reduce the sentence to like 20 days in jail or something like that. But I hope initially, you know how they had those scared straight programs in some municipalities where they take little badass kids that think they tough and they put them in jail and prison with the big boys and girls. I hope the judge throws the book at these little idiot motherfuckers when they catch them initially. But then later on, just let them know, oh, we was just playing. But the next time we catch your ass, we ain't gonna be fucking playing. And it's not because I think that what these motherfuckers are doing is dangerous, because people do dangerous shit all the time. Okay. I mean, this is the least of the high risk shit that I've seen these little idiot motherfuckers doing on social media by comparison. Okay. I mean, who can forget the fire challenge back when social media first got started, of little stupid motherfuckers setting themselves on fire? One kid almost killed himself. He got burned over 60% of his body. But I think the reason why these little morons need to be punished is because of the lack of moral compass, the lack of understanding the difference and respecting, because they know the difference between right and wrong. Okay. That's why they put the shit on social media so it can go viral. They need to be severely punished because they disrespect the moral compass that separates right from wrong. See, there used to be a time in our society when the differences between right and wrong were respected. Okay. If you were a bank robber like John Dillinger or a gangster like Al Capone, that's what you were. You were what on from most people's perspective, you were a bad guy. You were a tough guy. You were a wise guy. They even call them wise guys. But that's the side that you were on. If you were, a janitor that, went to work every day, or a policeman or a secretary, and you punched a regular 9 to 5, you know, that's who you were. You were on the good side, per se, the contributing member to society side. You know, you abided by the law and you teach those same values to your children. There was a balance, okay? There was a there was a separation and a clear clarification of who was a good guy and who was a bad guy. But now with the advent of social media, we have something I call the asshole effect. You see this predominantly in the black community with black women and their degenerate spawn. That Disneyland fight, which I do have a video coming out about in a couple of days that I've already produced, and is one of the 20 videos waiting in queue on YouTube, by the way, is a prime example of what the fuck I'm talking about. You go to fucking Disneyland with your kids. Everybody knows Disneyland is for kids, okay? Little babies, they're going there to have a good time. You're going there to take pictures. And then you got to see these ignorant, idiotic motherfuckers in the middle of the fucking street, fucking boxing and wrestling like this is fucking UFC 230 fucking Nunez versus Topchinka or some shit. What the fuck? We didn't come here for this. I'll buy a fucking pay-per-view to a boxing or MMA match if I want to see that, or damn WWE professional wrestling. But see, this is because the reason why stuff like this happens, the reason why you have kids that think it's okay to, you know, do this, tamper with food that they're not buying, and they think it's cute, and they want to get views, is because we have whipped ourselves into a culture of narcissists, okay? Where the only thing that matters is the amount of attention that we get. It doesn't matter whether it's negative attention or positive attention. And because most people are too lazy, especially the younger generations, most people are too lazy and inept to be original, to be creative. It's much easier, just like it is for a whore to go and throw her pussy, around a fucking stripper pole, or, to bend over in front of some John, instead of going out there and applying herself to actually getting a regular 9 to 5 job. It's much easier for people to just go out on social media and do stupid shit that, it has shock effect for likes, than actually go out like like a fucking PewDiePie or something, or even those of us here on the lower level of content creation, and be creative and actually build popularity and build a platform and a following with our wit and our and our creativity. So what we are essentially seeing is a generation that is being taught to be lazy, immoral, narcissistic, and without moral code. This is why I told y'all, where even 20 years ago it was shameful to be a prostitute. Now you have whores on Facebook calling themselves deep throat queens and bragging about their version of a sloppy toppy. You have females going into Walmart using the same tongue that they used to suck some dude's dick the other night, and raking that tongue across, using that mouth organ that they used on a man's man organ. They're using that organ to rake across the top of ice cream that somebody's gonna buy and might feed to their child. Now again, even if the person has AIDS, the chances of them contracting it from doing something nasty shit like that, unlikely. But it is just The concept that you disrespect law and order, that you disrespect right from wrong, you disrespect morality, what is fair, what is right, and what is decent. That is why your motherfucking ass need your motherfucking ass kicked. That is why you need to be punished. Because you think being a little stupid motherfucker for attention is okay. In certain cultures, they chop your goddamn tongue off. You get caught doing some stupid shit like that over in ISIS land or some of them former Soviet blocks, they'll they'll introduce you to how things really work. Okay? So it's not so much, the health risk of this. The reason why, this is pathetic. It's the concept, it's the lack of respect that the youth today have. And in some ways, it's not their fault. Let's face it, most kids have always been knuckleheads. I even used to have a saying that kids are assholes because they are. But it's really the lack of respect that these newer generations have, not just for their elders, but for civilization, what we call a civilized, stable structure as a whole. Okay? From this butt twerking to this, ratchet fighting and hair and weave pulling, you know, to this nasty shit. Because the reason why these kids need to be made an example of is because you have to ask yourself, what's going to come next? What's going to come after this? Now we know we've had the knockout challenge, we had the fire challenge, the ice bucket challenge, the no makeup challenge, the the ice cream challenge. What's going to come? Because see, it will just keep evolving and evolving and evolving in a society that tells us that it's okay to be an idiot. It's okay to be a Cardi B that drugs and robs men. It's okay to throw an 81-year-old man in prison just based on unproven allegations, her word against his, with no physical evidence, right? Because we have to make a poster child example of somebody to help endorse this hashtag Me Too movement bullshit. It's okay to have underage girls, like this girl that was recently killed in Florida. What was the little whore's name? Denora. She was like a black Hispanic, Denora Rodriguez. Yeah, I think it was Denora Rodriguez or something like that. She's on Instagram taking thought pics at 14 years old. That's okay. But then everybody want to ask when some shit goes down, when some white boy walks into his school and murders 17 people, when, a underage girl gets raped, when a 5-year-old commits suicide, okay? When two little girls lure their friend, outside somewhere and stab her to try to satisfy this fictional character, Slender Man, everybody want to ask, where were the warning signs? What went wrong? You stupid motherfucker, you went wrong when you abandoned moral character and moral compass, which is why we see what we see in this society today. Tech Nerd B said, I used to live around people who act like this, and I agree, these little punks need their asses whooped. So Cortez Smith says, you're wrong for that. Atari 909 says, challenges for the challenged. They're about to raid Area 51. King Vicious Production says, jump off a roof challenge. Go play in traffic challenge. Kick your own ass challenge. Now that's a good one. Kick your own ass challenge. Now that'd be a good one. Cause some of these little stupid motherfuckers, they need their asses kicked all up and down the fucking street and around the corner too. That's one of the reasons why I isolate myself, and where I live now is around no one except a few businesses. that are in this area. I'm in like a what they call it, a what the fuck, a unincorporated area, and I have no regrets because I used to live around, and I told y'all this back in 2015. I used to live around some hood urchins. It was a single black female and her daughter, and she was okay, but her daughter was a little stupid motherfucker, and her daughter um had a man looking dyke for a girlfriend, and her daughter was only 17 years old, and I lived in a duplex, and I'd hear them doing all kinds of little shit on the other side of that wall that I didn't want to hear. And then they got to the point where they thought they could start fucking with me, putting firecrackers in my mailbox, leaning on my car parked in the back, you know, just doing it, talking shit to me as I'm going to work. And you know, I've been a Second Amendment rights person for a very long time. I've been a proponent. I used to be a member of the NRA and a licensed NRA basic pistol safety instructor. I decided not to renew my license with the NRA because they got on my fucking nerves. Subject for another video. But I still am. I carry a gun pretty much everywhere I go. And I realized, because I knew the prison industrial complex is comprised mostly of black men. I knew that if I kept hanging around these little stupid fucks, sooner or later things were going to reach a head where somebody was going to get hurt or worse. And so I realized the chances are the person that was going to get hurt were the little stupid motherfuckers that were trying to fuck with me. And then I was going to wind up becoming just another brother in the system. And so I weighed my options, and because I'm a chess player in the mind and not a checker player, I saw several steps ahead. I said, sooner or later, you're going to go out your door. And I used to work the night shift, third shift. And these little nigglets, they used to like to hang around, with people outside on the front line. And my part of the duplex was actually in the back of the building. So I had to come down the stairs and go around just to get to my car parked on the street. And I used to always have to walk past where Latrice, the woman, the hood rat, she lived with her daughter who was like 17. I think she was like, what, 32, 33. So she had her when she was in her teens. Big fucking surprise that is. And so there was always a risk that they would try to say something. And I knew the more that they said, they would talk shit or they would do little stuff to get on my nerves, like putting a firecracker in my mailbox. It was only a matter of time. Goddamn. It was only a matter of time before they upgraded. They got bold enough to try to do something else, like maybe vandalize my car or break into my car or break into my house while I'm at work, or even crowd me. So I said, you know what, before I kill one of these little motherfuckers, let me just do the smart thing and call 1-800-MOVE. Let me jump on the internet and go to move to somewhere else.com before I have to hurt somebody. And that's exactly what I did. So I had a couple of other places that I lived at, but then I realized, man, there are too many fucked up motherfuckers in this world. The most I want people to be, the closest I want people to be to me at this point is over the internet. I don't want them no closer. Because I'm like David Carroll. At this point, the shit I saw in this world and this ice cream challenge bullshit just adds to it. Half the niggas in this world I don't trust, the other half I don't like. Okay? So the most I want any motherfucker to me closest is over the internet. That's it. I'm comfortable with that. Because it's not that I don't like people. It's not that I don't like everybody per se. It's just I don't want you too close to me. Okay? So if you get to acting stupid, or if you're fucking weird like Penny Proud, I can just press a button and block you. I can press a button and go to a different web page, or I can press the power button and just turn you and anything else on my computer that I don't like the fuck off. That's how that works. See, the internet gives you a great advantage over stupid motherfuckers. You don't have to deal with them, which is kind of ironic because in the black manosphere, we see people arguing with stupid motherfuckers when they don't have to, which pretty much just confirms that they kind of a stupid motherfucker themselves which is why they're so prone to that shit. But again, that's also a subject for another video. So, one other thing I wanted to bring up in relation to this ice cream challenge thing, and then we're gonna get off here because I know some of y'all gotta go to work in the morning, and I do too. Is that um the reason why the law, and by the way, that's not just a Texas law, that's a federal law, that tampering with merchandise, tampering with food, it can get you sent away for 20 years. What that comes from is a case that occurred in the early 1980s. Many of you may be familiar with it. It happened 3 years before I was born. And I forgot to mention this. Tomorrow is my birthday, by the way. I'll be 34 years old for anybody who gives a damn. I don't even care. So that's why I didn't mention it until now. But I'm just now remember, damn, I'll be 34 years old tomorrow. Woohoo! But anyway, there was a case in the early 1980s where there was a person, man or woman, but likely a man, that was going around putting cyanide in Tylenol, prescription, in Tylenol over the counter headache medication in West Suburban Illinois. This was right after my father moved here from Mississippi, and before he married my mother, he came up here to the Chicagoland area to go to IIT, and this was just 3 years removed from, no, 4 years removed from the tragedy in Guyana with Jim Jones. Y'all remember I did a movie, of a video documentary about that, where he used cyanide to kill 900 of his followers in South America. Okay, so cyanide after Jim Jones became a very popular poison of choice for psychos and nut jobs. Okay, now, after the Tylenol murders, which killed 7 people, again in far west suburban Chicago, those of you who are familiar with Chicagoland, it was out there in Schaumburg, Lombard, out there in like Hoffman Estates and stuff like, and suburbs like that. Um, the FDA, well, Tylenol started it. You know how when you go and you get a bottle of something, there's a seal on it, and it says clear on the seal, do not open or do not use this if seal has been broken. Okay, Tylenol started that whole thing after the Tylenol murders in West Suburban Chicago. And after that, the Federal Food and Drug Administration followed suit, and they required all bottled goods to, that were like medications and other types of products that were in bottles or jars, to have some type of seal and covering on them confirming that they had been sealed. Okay, all of that stemmed from the Tylenol murders. And somebody had actually brung this up during this ice cream challenge bullshit, that, really we haven't come as far as we think we've came since the Tylenol killings in 1982, because the only things that are sealed are like over-the-counter medications. Anybody could go into any store, pick up a thing of ice cream, a box of crackers, a fucking frozen pizza, and sprinkle anything in that motherfucker. And, nobody would know anything about it. So thankfully, there's nobody that's been that sick since the Tylenol killings. But the headline of this is, we all know, because y'all know I made a video about it, what's going on in Dominican Republic with all these American tourists, including a lot of black ones, getting poisoned by something at the minibar. And I believe it's an intentional poisoning. Okay. Here's the headline. Even though they had a chief suspect that tried to extort money out of Johnson and Johnson, who owns the Tylenol brand name, but he was later ruled, they couldn't pin the poisonings on him. Nobody was ever charged in the Tylenol killing, the Chicago Tylenol killing case. So that means that person, whether they died off or not, They got away with it. And like the Zodiac Killer, they could still be out there. Okay. That's one of the reasons why people have such a problem with this ice cream challenge bullshit, because this might inspire somebody to do something a little more sinister than taking their little dick sucking mouth and raking their tongue across a fucking surface of ice cream. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this case, I'm gonna just play this right quick. This is an old news clip. I just watched a documentary on this yesterday.
Today broadened its warning to a nationwide level. We're advising consumers, says the warning, not to use extra strength Tylenol until a series of deaths in the Chicago area can be clarified. 6 deaths have now been linked to the capsules, which are laced with cyanide, and late today, the manufacturer of Tylenol offered a $100,000 reward to anyone with information on who may have poisoned the pills. Max Robinson has more on the story. Max?
Here in Chicago, what started as a series of mysterious, unrelated deaths 48 hours ago has resulted in the biggest drug warning in U.S. history. It all began Wednesday morning. 12-year-old Mary Kellerman died. Within 12 hours, there were 5 people dead in suburban Chicago. A 6th would die later, all victims of extra-strength Tylenol capsules laced with cyanide. In 24 hours, almost 4.7 million capsules were ordered recalled by the manufacturer, McNeil Company, division of Johnson & Johnson, from stores in 37 states. And by noon today in Washington, the Food and Drug Administration warned consumers nationwide not to take any extra-strength Tylenol products.
Until the situation becomes clear, it would be a prudent move, although the problem is limited to the Chicago area, not to use the product.
Every day, Americans consume over 48 million Tylenol pills and capsules. Over 32.5 million of those are extra-strength Tylenol. But today, across the country, from New York to Chicago to Los Angeles, Tylenol products were being pulled from the shelves. Here in Chicago and in cities throughout the nation, hospitals have been flooded by calls from people frightened by the Tylenol scare. This is Rush Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center, set up as a crisis control headquarters for the entire metropolitan area.
Do you have some of the extra-strength capsules?
Staffed around the clock, the center has answered more than 1,000 inquiries and is accepting Tylenol products brought in by the public. Hospitals around Chicago are distributing cyanide antidopiates to police and paramedic units. Some of those units are going through suburban Chicago communities, issuing warnings.
Do not take any Tylenol until further notice.
The thousands of Tylenol products removed from area stores are being taken to this Johnson & Johnson warehouse in Lamont, Illinois. The company, through its McNeil subsidiary, makes Tylenol at plants in Pennsylvania and Texas. The drug is then shipped to distribution points across the country, like this one in Melrose Park, Illinois. Night warehouse supplies of Tylenol are quarantined. With the Tylenol recall now well underway, Illinois authorities are now concentrating on who poisoned the drug and why.
Well, we are 99% sure that the putting of cyanide in these capsules occurred after the materials got to Illinois, number one. Secondly, we don't know if we're dealing with a single madman or a group of crazies, a cult, if you will. And thirdly, we are trying to, by retrieving the drugs from the shelves, identify the extent of the distribution of the cyanide types.
So far, poisoned Tylenol capsules have been discovered in 50 capsule-sized bottles bearing one or two lot identification numbers, either MC2880 or 1910MD. All bottles with those numbers have been ordered recalled. Any person with capsules from either lot should return them to where they were purchased. Investigators here in Chicago say the capsules taken by all 6 victims had each been pried open and then laced with cyanide. While the difference in appearance of a regular capsule and a poisoned one is usually noticeable, authorities warn consumers should not try to judge a capsule safe on their own. Although the problem seems to be limited to the Chicago area, authorities here have an additional warning for consumers nationwide. They point out that Chicago's O'Hare Airport is the busiest in the nation, and that anyone passing through may have purchased Tylenol at the airport or in the area should immediately turn the drug in to their local authorities.
So anyway, guys, that's just a little flashback to the past that I want to share with you guys. And like I said, 2 things. One, and let me get another visual on here, because I wanted to bring up another point right quick. Okay. So, um, oh, this is old. Oh, this is old. Washington man poisoned husband planted tainted pills around state in 1986. Wait, hold up. But anyway, um, okay. The 2 points that I was trying to make. One was that this is why these little stupid motherfuckers going around tampering with ice cream need to be severely punished to make an example out of them, because it's just a matter of time before you have another demented motherfucker like the one that was putting cyanide in Tylenol back in the 1980s. They're gonna get an idea. Oh, let's do a lace ice cream with poison challenge, or put fucking rat poison in fucking bag of Cheetos, or fucking jar of pickles challenge, or some stupid shit. See, we're a wide open society. We're wide open to attack. There are too many soft fucking targets. Okay? And personally, I don't want to have to be going to fucking Walmart or Meijer or some shit, just trying to pick up some stuff for the weekend and having to worry about some motherfucker that's sick in the head and bored, poisoning my fucking food. I got enough fucking problems. Okay? The other thing in relation to the Tylenol killing case is, like I said, they never caught that person. Now, I believe that person is either dead or they're so old now, like Izola Curry, when they finally caught up with her in 2015, it don't even matter. But I do believe that what's been happening to people in the Dominican Republic is very similar, especially those 3 tourists that died just hours, just like minutes or hours after going into their mini bars. I do believe that they are um, suffering some similar fate of what those people in West suburban Chicago were suffering during the 1982 Tylenol killings. And I do believe, based on the lethality rate in the Dominican Republic, that the poison is being used in the Dominican Republic, whether it's a foreign actor doing that shit or somebody that actually lives in the Dominican Republic. And I'm of inclined to believe that whoever's poisoning American tourists is a foreigner. After kind of looking into it further, I don't believe that it's a Dominican. I believe it's a foreign actor that's either been living there or they're there for the sole purpose of being malicious in this way. But nonetheless, I believe they are using a very strong poison that kills very quickly, like cyanide. Okay. I don't believe they're using something like ricin, because ricin is a slow killer. Anthrax is a slow killer. You remember we had back in right after September 11th, 2001, there was a nut going around putting anthrax in fucking letters. So we've had these poison, these poison killers um in American history for a long time. And like once a decade one pops up. There's even a dude in Austin, Texas going around mailing people bombs. Y'all remember that? What was that, last year? They did a documentary on it on ABC's 2020. So, I do think that's similar. What happened in Chicago back in the 1980s is similar to what is happening in the Dominican Republic. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it for tonight's live stream. Let me read some of the comments right quick, then we're gonna get off of here. Rolando PM, he says, this is why I don't want children with any female, aka female. Says that happened when I was born, the Tylenol cyanide murders. Um, Dan Grand Basa Deuteronomy says damn near civil war breakout in Haiti, but folks are going to the Dominican Republic. Smart. There's a civil war in Haiti. What the fuck? Well, what are you talking about? Let me see. What's going on in Haiti? Taiwan president travels to Haiti to bolster relations in the region. If Haiti gives me a government, we can work together toward a better future. What are you talking about? A civil war going on in Haiti? Anyway, Says this happened around my birth year, brother Brian, 1982. Says, hey YouTuber, you still know what's going on, DR. Atari 909 says they may be drinking bootleg booze in the DR if it's made wrong. Yeah, I mean there's a bunch of theories about what's going on in the Dominican Republic. Some people are saying it's bootleg booze that's possibly contaminated with lead particles and other stuff because they make bootleg booze in shady places, with around rusty pipes and rats and shit, it could still yet be some deadly disease too, from that some bacteria that got on some of the stuff that they put in the mini bar that nobody's discovered yet too. That's a possibility. This one Texas couple, they said, y'all saw in the video I made about it, they said that they thought that it was a pesticide because um they saw some guy outside of their room earlier in the day before they got deathly ill spraying the lawn right outside their window. It could People think it could be pesticide, it could be cyanide, you know. See it the only thing though is if it was like anthrax or like a biological weapon, like a germ, they would have discovered that by now. Like the anthrax letter mailings in 2002, they would have discovered that by now. That's why I'm thoroughly convinced that it's a poison. And what a lot of people don't know about poison is, unless you really know what to look for as a medical examiner, most poisons are untraceable. The only thing you will be able to see is what the poison caused in causing the body to shut down and the person to die. You won't actually be able to detect the poison unless you run very specific tests. You see what I'm saying? So, that's why they're saying that wait, what is this? Another person that died? Oh no, this happened on March 11th. What the fuck is this? Says working man strategies. Are you gonna keep this stream up, Brian? I want to see the Izola Curry stuff that I missed earlier. Yeah, I'll leave the stream up for a few days. Um, it'll be up for like five or 4 or 5, maybe 6 days. Yeah, you'll be able to take it back and even download it if you want. Um, Dan Grand Bassa, he says, I got family in Haiti and Dominican Republic. Right now is not the best time to go over there. You got that right. I mean, they even shot Big Poppy in the back. And that was the other thing I was wondering about. Like, is this some larger thing that's going on in the Dominican Republic, or is it just all a coincidence? Because you remember right before this shit started getting reported about these tourists dying, what happened a couple of weeks before that? David Ortiz was shot in the back in what was clearly an assassination attempt. And while David Ortiz is Dominican, he got his fame and his startup over here with the Boston Red Sox. So, I even theorized that it could just be some jealous motherfucker, you know, that, didn't get on the come up, that maybe he even played baseball with when he was in the little leagues in the Dominican Republic and wanted to kill him. They know by now that it was a conspiracy. They claim that it was a case of mistaken identity, but I don't believe that. David Ortiz is a big black ass Negro. He cannot possibly be mistaken for anybody else, especially some light skinned fucking Puerto Rican looking motherfucker. There's no way. They talking about the bullet wasn't intended for him. Did y'all see that fucking video? That dude walked right up to his backside and fired right into him. He wasn't aiming for nobody but that dude. And they still haven't fully explained what that shit was about. Why would they want to kill? Why would somebody from the Dominican Republic want to kill David Ortiz? That's like somebody from Chicago wanting to kill Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody from fucking San Francisco wanting to kill Steph Curry. You know. So there's some weird shit going on in the Dominican Republic. I don't know. I mean, bad stuff happens all over the world. But I told people before, I said, y'all really, people talking about vacationing here, moving here and there after retirement, even my parents. I say, you need to ask yourself the fundamental question. Why are so many of these motherfuckers in all these exotic Caribbean islands and South American countries, why are they so eager to get over here to the point where they're willing to risk their lives going through Mexico and fucking illegally cross over into our borders if where they live is such a wonderful fucking exotic place? See, I tell people all the time, it's new to you. It's the same old thing to everybody that's been there before you. So I don't know. Yeah, it could be somebody that just don't like Americans. Some people were saying they think it's the Russians or the Chinese that are doing a dry run over there. It could be Al Qaeda. It could be ISIS. It could be a wannabe terrorist. It could be a white nut job. It could be a disgruntled employee that got treated funky. Hey, y'all, wait, let me run this one theory by y'all. I just thought about it. I'm gonna read the comment section. What do y'all think about this? Because one white lady got her, she didn't get poisoned. She just randomly got her ass whooped. wait, wait, hold up. I gotta show y'all this right quick. This woman was going out. Wait, I'm gonna let her tell her own story. Woman beaten in Dominican Republic. You know what I was thinking, guys? I was thinking that it's possible that the person going around poisoning tourists could be a disgruntled employee that still works for the resort that got treated funky by, Americans, probably a white American tourist that thought, that they could just come over there and treat them any type of way. Because you know how white people are when they, doing something, especially when they got money. They'll talk to you any type of way, treat you any type of way. Not all of them, but a significant amount of them will. And it could have just been somebody that, they would just treat it like shit. It could have been a bellboy. It could have been, the luggage boy. It could have been the lady at the front desk. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll show these motherfuckers. It could have been that those tourists that were killed were actually targeted because they had a funky attitude. I don't know. What y'all think? Yeah, this woman got her ass whooped, bruh. Look at that shit. See, this is why I say, man, you got to be careful. Whenever you go on vacation, this woman wasn't poisoned, y'all. She said that she was in the Dominican Republic with her husband. She left out of her hotel room or whatever to go down. She wanted to go downstairs. It was like in the middle of the night. She wanted to go to the bar. They had like a bar or something that was open all night or late at night to get something quick to eat. And she said somehow she lost her way and wound up outside in this narrow corridor. And she claims that a hotel employee, or at least somebody wearing a hotel uniform, jumped her in between the narrow corridor and where she was trying to go to the food bar and whooped the shit out of her ass for no reason at all, bro. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Let me see if there's a video of this woman. Yeah. Poor thing. Damn. But see, I don't know. The other thing is, I don't know. That's her side of the story because they never caught the person she claimed beat her up. She could have just been being a bitch. You know how these females are. I don't trust none of them. But if that really happened the way she said it did, damn. So what I'm thinking is if she was randomly attacked how she said she was, because again, this happened in the same resort complex, which consists of several hotels, but this happened in the same resort complex of the people who got poisoned to death, where this woman got badly beaten. Okay. So I'm thinking that the same person who beat this woman's ass is the same person going around poisoning people. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was a disgruntled hotel employee that's just acting on his own, his or her own. Could be a female, like Penny. Let me play this clip for y'all. This woman y'all saw. She looked like she got into a fucking fight with who's that man faced female boxer now that's champion, that dark skinned black female from Flint, Michigan. What's her fucking name? I was just seeing some stuff from that chick yesterday. I forget her fucking name, but she looked like this white lady looked like she got in a fight with that chick, bro. Damn. Oh, this thing gonna freeze up on me now. Come on, son. Says damn well. That makes a lot of sense, Brian. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think somebody just ain't getting paid enough. They're getting treated like shit by their bosses, or they're getting treated like shit by the guests at the hotel, and they're taking it a little too personal. That would be my guess, to be honest with you. Cause this shit is just it's too much to be a fucking coincidence. Well, anyway, while that shit is loading, my shit is lagging. This damn thing. How'd this guy die? Georgia man died vacationing in Dominican Republic, March 11th. U.S. tourist death. State Department. Oh, they just discovered. Damn, this is another guy that died, y'all. But he died before the media frenzy, before anybody knew that tourists were mysteriously dying. He died back in March. An 11th tourist has been confirmed dead in the Dominican Republic. This one, a 31-year-old man from Georgia who passed away in March. Tracy Jerome Jester. And I want y'all to notice something specifically about this. The overriding majority of people who, because I hear Negroes always talking about get your passport. And I'm not against traveling. I'm actually pro travel the world. I've always wanted to travel the world. But I want y'all to see this because I know why I don't mean to disrespect this man because I don't know why he was there. He may have had family there. But I know why a majority of black men are going to places like the DR. Okay? And I said it in the video because it's easy prostitution. Fine women, drop dead, gorgeous, fine women for cheap money. Okay? Let's not pretend like it's anything different. These niggas acting like they going there to find a relationship and a wife. Bullshit. I know black men too well. Them niggas going down there to get their dick wet, you know, and a no strings attached, few hassles type of deal, and they winding up dead. That's why the majority of tourists that are dying in the Dominican Republic are predominantly black men. Y'all notice that? This is like the fourth or fifth black dude of the 11 people that have died. Like 4 or 5 of them have been black, and at least 4 of them have been black men. Well, if you count the couple, 5. Says, yeah, he died the same way, respiratory illness. His mother told he had been vacationing with his sister and had just wound up a, a day a day of sightseeing. Okay, so says he was there with his family. Okay, I'll take their word for it. But I know these niggas. Gotta be careful. I keep telling these niggas stop thinking with your brain. And well, no, I can't say that. I was gonna say unless the couple was kinky, that black couple, I'll say maybe it's a prostitute poisoning these motherfuckers. Well, no, because then there was the female. No, I think my biggest guess is that it's a disgruntled employee. That's my biggest guess. Man, what the fuck is wrong with this player, man? Come on, I wanted to show them the lady getting her ass whooped, bro. Man, fuck this stupid thing. Let's try Washington Post. Working Man Strategy says that's the only reason brothers are going out there. They probably putting some damn flocka in their drinks at the club. Orlando G says, I know a YouTuber who is advocating this, and they said they are going there to the DR. Stupid. Why would you want third world herpes? What you say? Hey, Atari 909, what you say? First world herpes is good, bad enough, huh? Come on, man. Play the fucking video. And see, this is the other reason why YouTube wins all the time. You don't have a lot of these sites that host their own video sharing um platforms, their own videos, they're laggy as fuck, bro. Don't nobody want to deal with that. This woman got her ass whooped, y'all. Wait, let me go back. Okay, I promise I'm gonna end the stream after this, but y'all gotta see this shit. Come on. Sorry, y'all, about the low volume. I don't know what's up with that. I'm gonna try to play the same video on YouTube again. Though I try to be careful on YouTube because y'all remember. Oh yeah, Clarissa Shields. That's the fucking tranny looking black chick. She's like WBO champion. That's the one, the female boxer from Flint, Michigan, and I said this white woman looked like got a hold of her in the Dominican Republic. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Woman beaten in Dominican Republic. Let me see if this has better volume. I got to be careful hosting stuff, showing stuff on YouTube because these motherfuckers, they fucking petty as hell. I apologize for people who can't hear it, but you can always watch it yourself on your phone or computer. Damn, damn, son. Wow. Y'all strong and independent though. Y'all strong, independent, and most educated. You white bimbos too. Y'all don't need us. She got her ass whooped, bruh. Now I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest about that shit, bro. Either she was talking slick to somebody. I think she was talking slick. I think she's not telling us what she did. Either that or whoever whooped her ass is the same person poisoning people in the DR. Cause that, if you look at her face, that's some anger right there, bro. God, somebody that would randomly do that to another person. No, bro. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Jesus. Wow, she looked like she been in a car accident, yo. No, no, son. Somebody, whoever did that to this woman, either she was doing what women do. I'm not excusing what happened to her, but I'm just saying, either she was doing what women do, because you could see they was going to work on her face, the swelling, the blood hemorrhaging, that was personal. Okay. I don't, you don't need a detective to tell you that attack was personal. It was either personal. No, it was personal, whether she got into it with them or not. Either they hate tourists, or at that moment they hated her because of some exchange that they had. Okay. Or somebody that resembled her said something or did something to them earlier in the day. That ain't just no random attack. That's some personal, I hate your motherfucking ass type shit. Now, if she had been beaten and robbed or beaten and raped, that would have been one thing. But the fact that this person was so furious that they just want to go off on her ass like that, and they targeted her face, that's like some passionate, like, rage type attack right there, bro. That's some domestic violence type shit. Like, I'm targeting you because I don't like you type shit. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. But anyway, y'all, um yeah. So be careful if you're going to the Dominican Republic. If you catch somebody licking ice cream and putting it back in the freezer, whoop they ass. No, I'm just playing. Make sure you get an idea of them and call the police. Make sure y'all check out that article that I sent y'all earlier about that Izola Curry woman. Make sure you sign up to become part of the commission, because we're gonna try to brainstorm to see what we can do to boost the ratings and traffic over on Black Avenger TV. Make sure you sign up at www.blackavenger tv.formnotion.com. Damn, I'm forgetting the address to my own fucking forum. Make sure you're subscribed to me on Black Avenger TV itself. Um, Make sure that you check out my latest Patreon blog, which I will be putting a community post up about. It's regarding the Izola. I don't know how to pronounce her name completely. Izola is maybe it's Izola Curry. I went into specific detail about her persona and her profile. And yeah, thanks guys so much for coming out and spending time with me. We got up to 41 people in the chat room. That's wonderful. And I'm going to resume regularly scheduled programming sometime either late tomorrow or sometime on Tuesday. So again, thanks guys so much for being here, spending time with me. You guys have been awesome. And please remember to email me or register on that form if you have any thoughts or suggestions about how we can improve the traffic flow and popularity of Black Avenger TV. Thanks so much, guys, and I'm out of here.